Hi guys, today I just wanted to have a look at the Dorian mode. We sort of briefly talked about all of the modes, and then I went into a little bit more depth with the Ionian. Today I wanted to focus on the Dorian mode. So when we talked about that initially, we were looking at it as a minor scale, and then just adding a raised sixth to it. We're going to talk a lot about that raised sixth and that characteristic kind of sound that we get when we do the Dorian mode. What I want to do is do it in the key of E minor Dorian today, so we're going to quickly go over the scale. We're going to start from 7 to the 5th, I'm going to go 7, 9, 10, and then 7, 9, 11 on the 4th, and then 7, 9 on the 3rd. Let me do that again, but I just want to go through the notes, so we're going to go E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and then D, E at the end. So when we want to do these soloing ideas and get used to hearing Dorian working, what we really need is a chord progression to play over. So when we talked about the Ionian mode and soloing over that, we had a bunch of chords based off the diatonic chord structure. So we had the scale, which was this, and then for each one of those notes we added the diatonic chord structure to it, which went something like major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, half diminished or minor 7 with a flat 5, and then the major again, and that was just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 through that diatonic chord structure. Now with the Dorian, all we're going to do is just start from the second chord in that pattern and then go to the 7th and then go 1, 2 again. So that's going to be the whole pattern. So if we look at this, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, we're going to take those notes and then use the diatonic chord pattern from the second chord of that structure. So we're going to go minor, minor, major, major, minor, half diminished, major, and then a minor again. So what I've done is I've just put together a little chord progression that we're going to play over in a little bit so that we can sort of hear the Dorian mode working over those. So I just made the chord progression out of those options that we just saw there. So what I want to do now is have a look at our relative modes, some ways to use the pentatonic with a Dorian feel, and also some arpeggios. So let's have a look at where we started, which is the your standard Dorian. The next note, or all the notes of this scale, have a mode that could go with it. So we've got the Dorian to start from the E. From the F sharp, we'll do it over here. From the F sharp, we could do it a Phrygian. From the G, we could do a Lydian. From the A, we could do a Mixolydian. From the B, we could do an Aeolian, or just your natural minor, a relative natural minor. From the C sharp, we could have a Locrian. And then the D is the Ionian, which is the major again. And then we're back at the octave, or the root, or whatever we want to look at, which was the Dorian again. So you've got all of those relative patterns to work with. And then also I wanted to have a look at just doing some minor 7th arpeggios and then adding in that C sharp just to give it that raised 6th Dorian flavour. So what I'm going to do is just do a basic minor triad. Starting from 7 to the 5th, I'm playing 7, 5 of the 4th, and then 4 of the 3rd. Okay, and the minor 7th if I want, we can do it with or without it, but we'll do the minor 7 on 7 of the 3rd string, and then that C sharp. It's going to get that real Dorian sound. We can do the same thing up the octave as well. Alright, what I want to do here is start from 9 of the 3rd. We're going to go 9, 8 of the 2nd, 7 of the 1st string. So that's your straight, your sort of 1, 3, 5 basic triad. The minor 7 is going to be on 10 of the 1st string. And then the C sharp is going to be on 9th fret. They can kind of work into each other as well. So one more thing that I wanted to look at, we'll do an improv and I'll show you how they all work, just get used to the sounds of them, is just looking at the basic E minor pentatonic. And all I'm going to do is add in C sharp at the higher octave and then the sort of mid-range octave. So the first C sharp was on 14 of the 2nd string, so we do the pentatonic for 3 notes. C sharp here on 14 of the second string, then, sorry, 12 of the second, and then 14, 12 on the third, which is just the same pentatonic. Okay, then when I get to the fourth string, we've got another one of these. I'm going 14, 12, 11 on the fourth. So that's the guy there, that's the C sharp that we want. And then we're going 14, 12 on the fifth, and then 15, 12 on the sixth string. So I'm going to have a little bit of a play around with a chord progression. We're going to try and look at relative modes, the arpeggios with the raised sixth, the C sharp in there, and also a bit of pentatonic action. So let's try having a look at this. So I'm hoping that that sort of demonstration made sense. We're just looking at a simple chord progression in E Dorian. I was just using E minor, some sussy stuff on the A, a G, a B minor, and a D. I was just messing around with the order of those. So they're all part of the Dorian chord progression. I'm hoping that the relative modes idea made sense. You've got your arpeggios with the raised 60 thing in there as well. And this is all going to work when you change keys. Like, you can take all of this theory and put it in C Dorian, D Dorian, G Dorian, as long as you get your modulations right, and then when you move all the modes over, that should all work together. So you won't have to relearn it every time you start in a different key. If you guys got any questions or anything that didn't quite make sense, I would love to clear it up with you. Until then, I'll see you guys soon for some Phrygian and some more good time solos. Catch ya.